While this video will be in different parts, more than one, that will have to be recorded in different places and joined together as one, there's going to be a little thing I'm going to start it out with for the 27th part of this series. And there's a little thing we have here where we are going to take a little wood burner and kind of like place in the two little pupils of the eyes for this St. Nicholas figure. And so I say we're going to turn the heat up a little better to kind of make it so it'll be a little better, nicer ways. So as for how this shall go, we'll make it so we will see how this shall turn out. We finally got the two little pupils for the eyes into the figure, and so that's what we do here. We're going to kind of take it along and do the same with the other one here and try to place them in just fine. And this is where it's going to go, where it's going to be, what it's going to come down to, and finally make it so the pupils are going to be just in great shape. Now we can finally turn this burner off and perhaps go back to the other side to demonstrate a little more. As we come down to making more of these things, there's just one little part we got to work on that is a part I often forget when I paint the first time. You really don't want to forget this, but sometimes it soaks in the oil, and after it's already soaked, I come back and do this because I left it off the first time, and that is you want to paint the eyebrows. Of course, there is that other way of carving the face I showed you where the eyebrows are already cut out or carved out in shape, but when it comes to this part of it, to this face, you don't really carve them out, so you want to paint them in. And sometimes, just sometimes, it can be a little bit of a difficult part because it can get to the point where it can be a little bit of a mess to do when you figure out how to try to get it so the eyebrows have equal curves, because sometimes you might get one a little higher than the other or one a little lower than the other, which you have to be so careful and cautious that you don't do. This is how I got it out this time around, and I say, it's just, and I've got a little cough too, so we gotta take care of little matters like that. I say we're going to take care of this one here, try to make it so we can curve it in, make it so that the eyebrow is going to show on the beautiful little St. Nicholas figure. And I say that this is just a way we brighten things up for us. And then we're going to come down to where we're going to see it a little better, see it a little brighter, see it how it ought to be. So I say that we've come to where I think we've got the eyebrows equal enough. Sometimes the eyebrows on one won't be exactly like the ones on another, but you know, just as long as the two are the same for that one figure, that just makes it good enough. And so we got this much done. That's the part we needed to take care of. And then it's going to come down to where we're going to get a little more to come in. And I say that we got the little pink here. You see how there's that little lip below the mustache that we carved out? we can take a little pink paint and sort of like just dip the brush in so we get it on a good enough tip, and then finally just place a little paint on there, make it so we see that this little Santa is going to be a brave little show for us. Oh, the way we work about things, I say, is just the work in itself and how it's going to be the thing that shall make us see what it's going to be like when it all comes down to what it's going to be in the very end. Sometimes it might be hard to really get this lip painted so it looks just the way it ought to, but I'd say that we're kind of getting our best work into what we can do here to make it so it's going to be as good as it ought to be and as good as it needs to be. And so that's how we get that little line into there. We're going to go on, take care of the same little step on this very next one over here as well. Kind of put the little paint in to make the little lip, and so how it's going to go with this little St. Nicholas figure. I say that this is just the work as it's going to be. Make it so we see how things are going to look in the end. Once they come out right, once they come out good, we're going to see how little work can be when we make a little ways to brighten our days and so brighten our nights. I say that this is just the little ho-ho of the North Pole, and then come down to where we see just what it looks like here. I will say that perhaps, even though this video may not have come out very long, this could just be perhaps what I'm trying to think what to do next. But I guess I'd say that when those little parts dry, we can come back to do the boots later. That'll be the last part we do. So thank you again for watching, and take care.